Wasl stage, welcome to the EXPO Young Stars performance. The performance you're about to see has been written, planned, designed, and choreographed by these young superstars for all of you here today. I know you're excited and you can't wait to see them in action, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. But before we have them begin their performance, I have one question to ask you. Are you ready? Some of you are ready, some of you are not. I'm gonna ask you that question one more time. This time I want every single person here to let me know you're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the show? I like it, here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, it is my pleasure to present to you GEM's new Millennium School.
Fairy tales. We love the stories, the characters, and the happily ever after. But have you wondered about what these characters felt about their stories? Is this the way they wanted their lives to go? Well, it is time to hear them out, presenting a story of these fairy tale characters behind the scenes. Let us start the way we always do, that is...
Once upon a time, there was a town called Taleville, home of the fairy tales, owned and governed by two sisters, Heidi Grimm and Lisa Grimm. Taleville was the heart of the fantastical stories that were peppered abundantly through the course of our childhood. However, all was not well in Taleville. One fine day, quite to the dismay of the Grimm sisters, there was a revolt in Taleville. The reason behind the revolt? The fairy tale characters were fed up of the same age-old stories which said they lived happily ever after.
Madam, there's breaking news! The fairy tales have revolted and they're marching towards the castle as we speak. It seems Snow White has taken up the front too. According to our detectives, they're bored of playing the same stories again and again. In short, they really want to change.
Heidi, didn't I tell you to do the changes a while ago? It's been 200 years, counting, since the Grimm brothers wrote these stories. No wonder the fairy tales are upset. I would be too. The tourists of Taleville don't go for the new stuff. They still love to watch the stories unfold the same way they did centuries ago.
We want change! We want change! We want change! We want change!
What a sight to behold, Heidi! You ever thought the fairy tales would go on a strike? Can you see Hansel and Gretel when picket signs? The Frog Prince marching for justice? The 7 dwarfs walking with placards? No! No!
All together now, what do we want?
New stories!
And when will we get them?
Once upon a time!
No! I told you it's right now! We practiced this like a million times. Get it right, folks. We want change. We want change. We want change. We want change. We want change.
The Grimm brothers must be spinning in their graves. They would be shocked by your behavior.
Crimea River. If they knew we were still doing stories they wrote in 1812. They would burst out of their coffins and take matters into their own hands.
Every day, Hansel and I get lost in the forest. And what? Breadcrumbs will get us home. Breadcrumbs? Yeah, we should drop cake crumbs. Cake.
I get Look at my skin. Botox doesn't help after a century or two.
We can work things out. Heidi may have overreacted.
Too late. You're gonna pay. Have you tried living in a cottage with 7 little creatures? Dwarfs don't do dishes, or laundry, or wear deodorant.
Have you tried living with a princess? Nothing's good enough for Princess Snowy.
Don't call me Snowy.
As for me, I'm done with that creature. He may look like a prince afterwards, but his breath? Blah!
It's not my fault. You know how many years I've had to live on nothing but flies. You try being a frog.
You ungrateful ingrates! Lisa and I slave all day to bring tourists to Taylorville, and this is how you talk us?
Oh, really? Ever think people might come for news stories?
According to the market research,
La 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 la, we can't hear you. Negotiate, you said. It'll be fine, you said. Huh?
Keep talking all you want. We're heading to the front gate with our picket signs.
Lisa, call security. Tell them to obstruct these tails. As for you, we'll see how long you last without paychecks. Get out! And don't come back until you've learned some manners.
On to the front gates. They'll know we mean business when nobody buys tickets to Tailville. What do we want?
News stories.
And when will we get them?
Right now.
We want change.
We want change. We want change. We want change.
First things first, stop to say all the words on top of my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Ooh, the way that things have been. Ooh, second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can do. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my CEO. Ooh, the master of my CEO. Ooh. I was broken from a young age, into my soaking to the masses, writing my poems with the music I look at nature, the mission, the infinity, singing my heart in from the pain, taking my message from the way it's seen my lesson, from the way it's seen the beauty to love. Hey, bring me on, you make me a believer, believer. Hey, bring me on, you make me a believer, believer. Now let the bullets fly, let them rain. I love my life and I became from. Hey, bring me on, you make me a believer, believer.
While the sisters Grimm were living up to their name, what with the mood in Tailville? Around the corner, in the alley of Agrabah, the characters of Aladdin were preparing diligently for a show, seemingly unaffected. Remember now, the keyword here is seemingly.
about it. It is true that we've been doing the same thing over and over again. Don't you get sick of it?
Huh? Speak for yourself. I am satisfied with what I have to do.
That's because you get the riches and the gold both. What do we get allowed in? Kept and forgotten. That's what.
Oh, come on. You're overreacting. All of us out here in Tailwind, what's missing? The tourists are happy, Heidi and Liesel are happy. We get our paychecks timely. And all of that comes from only repeating what we did the day before. We work like a well-oiled machine, mate.
Yes, point two.
That point isn't very sharp though. You've got to admit that this machine is rusting and it's rusting fast. It's time to change, whether you like it or not, Laden.
Listen, I have a plan. I know just the person to scare those fairy tales right back to work. Who could possibly?
No way! But her, Heidi, you know how she is.
I'm sure she's much more mature now. Besides, I've already called her. She should be here any minute now.
We want change. 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 We want change.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of you, the time has come to make a very important announcement. Our beloved sister, Ella Grimm, has flown in and will now be sharing the details with you all. Ella, if you will.
Thank you, Heidi. I have unfortunate news. Effective tomorrow, Tail will be closed. Forever. Reconstruction will begin immediately. It will be called Grim Forest, in honor of our founders. Naturally, the entire thing will be built by Ella Grimm Real Estate.
What? You think you're gonna sell my gingerbread house to some loudmouth tourist?
Oh, heavens! I'm tearing that poor excuse of a shack and building my luxury condos atop the rubble. You're so cute when you're being naive.
Wait. You're selling out? Then what happened to us?
For those of you who are qualified, Grimforce might need a few employees.
To entertain people, perhaps?
No, like cleaning ladies. For the rest of you, there is the Black Forest Asylum. Trust me, you guys, that place is fun.
Snowy, if that Ella person takes over, we'll end up in a nut house. Alright, what do you want?
Well, there is one way, but Snowy won't like it.
Try me.
If you all agree to drop your demands and take a 15% pay cut, our charming sister will disappear. Deal?
Fairy tales, huddle. All right, you weasel. Make it a 10% cut, and we have a deal. Deal?
The fairy tales were downtrodden. To put it lightly, the sisters overjoyed. All that was left was a perfect finish to the day. Oh no. But wait! What is that glint in Ellie's eye? Oh dear. We're in for a rough ride.
I have the deed right here in flesh, don't I? Now, I hate to be the villain in the story. All puns intended. So I'll give them 48 hours to move. I trust they'll have space for my bulldozers in the morning, won't they? It's time for me to take it. I'm grim residents in hopes of a better barter. What they had landed on was a rare gemstone. As the witch like to put it, the cogwheels and the tail's heads were practically audibly turning. Aha! Enter Trouble, Part 2.
That woman is unbelievable! It's not my fault she's a crook.
I have an idea, you know?
No way!
Yes way!
Good morning, darlings. Shouldn't you be packing by now? Sorry, we've decided not to move. Girls, girls, girls. Don't make me give you a taste of the law. All's fair in war and in business. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few bulldozers to reschedule. Oh, and the fact that you're getting in my way? Dolls, just try not to get hurt.
Your lawyer says that if you don't leave, you're within your rights to call the police for emergency evacuation. Now whether they like it or not.
Young lady, I never thought you'd stoop so low. Stealing from your sisters, throwing fairy tales out of the street. Never thought I would have to see this day with my own two eyes.
Godmother, it's so good to see you.
Well, it isn't so good for me, as some days I'm ashamed to be your fairy godmother. Now you're going to march right down to City Hall and turn that deed, so these nice fairy tales can keep their home.
But Godmother, I put in a lot of money into this deal and you can't make me.
Oh, really? Do you remember what happened the last time when you disobeyed your godmother?
You really should have thought twice before testing. Godmother's limit say, Cinderella.
So Ella is short for Cinderella?
Heidi and Liesl are stepsisters.
This time, you're not even around the house for a year. No phone, text, or the like to anyone, especially to your so-called assistant. Oh, and I'll tell your prince about shenanigans when he finds out you stole your last living.
No, Godmother, you can't! You absolutely mustn't!
You're not coming out of that room until you're ready to behave yourself. Also, Liesl and Heidi, your stepsister will be recoming in the room. You two will be joining her.
What?
You two haven't changed. You both tried to have fairy tales, so better learn to manage along with your sister.
Fine, we'll start writing next month.
Tomorrow will be much better, and if sharing a room with your darling sister doesn't help, then the wand will be quite defective.
Looks like we did it, everybody. One more time now. What did we want? And when will we get them?
Right now.
And that's why we live happily ever
know, none of this would have been possible without the hard work, effort, and dedication of the students, their choreographers, and you, their parents and friends, for your support along the way. So take a moment to give yourselves a round of applause, everybody.